Once upon a time, there was a soldier who had fought bravely in many battles. He had served his country well, gaining honor and respect, but now his service was over. With a heavy heart, he returned home, only to find that everything had changed. His beloved parents were no more, and worse, his brothers, who had once been so close to him, refused to let him stay with them. "You're nothing but a burden to us now," or they said, turning him away without hesitation. The soldier, heartbroken and alone, wandered through the streets, searching for a place to call home. But no matter where he went, he was met with coldness and rejection. He had no one left in the world. One evening, as he walked through the forest, consumed by his despair, a strange figure appeared before him. The man was unlike anyone the soldier had ever seen, a creature with cloven hooves, dark eyes, and a sinister air about him. His skin was as dark as the night, and his smile twisted into something cruel. "Why do you look so miserable, soldier?" the devilish figure asked, his voice smooth like velvet but laced with malice. "Isn't it enough that you fought for your country and earned the respect of men?" The soldier, surprised and confused, replied, "I've lost everything. My parents are gone, my brothers have cast me aside, and now I have nowhere to go." The devil smirked. "I can give you what you want, all the wealth and respect you desire. But there is a price. You must agree to two things. First, for 7 years, you must not bathe, cut your hair, or trim your nails. Second, you must accept a bearskin that will cover you, keeping you warm, but also marking you as an outcast. If you survive these 7 years, everything will be restored to you, as though nothing ever happened. If you die, your soul will be mine." The soldier, desperate and with nothing left to lose, agreed. He donned a green coat given to him by the devil, which would provide him with endless riches. He was also given a large, rough bearskin to wear and sleep in, which would become his constant companion. With a heavy heart but a renewed sense of purpose, the soldier set out on his journey, uncertain of what the future would bring. In the years that followed, Bearskin, his new name given by the rough pelt that now clung to him, wandered from town to town. He used the money he received from the green coat to help those in need. He gave generously to the poor, hoping their prayers would sustain him during the 7 years of his self-imposed exile. However, as the years passed, Bearskin became more and more repulsive. His hair grew long and wild, his nails thickened and curled, and his skin became pale and dirty. The once handsome soldier was now unrecognizable, a terrifying figure who struck fear into the hearts of all who saw him. He was shunned wherever he went, forced to pay exorbitant amounts just to find a place to sleep. One day, during the 4th year of his exile, Bearskin came across an old man sitting by the roadside, weeping bitterly. The man's clothes were ragged, and his face was filled with sorrow. "What troubles you, old man?" Bearskin asked, his voice rough from disuse. The old man looked up, startled. "Ah, it's you," he muttered. "You, the one they call Bearskin. What do you want with a poor man like me?" Bearskin frowned but remained patient. "Tell me your troubles. Perhaps I can help." The old man sighed deeply. "I have lost all my money, and I do not know how to feed my daughters. The innkeeper has demanded payment, and if I cannot pay, I will be thrown into prison. What am I to do? My daughters will starve if I am sent away." Bearskin's heart softened at the old man's plight. Without hesitation, he reached into his coat and handed the innkeeper the gold he owed. Then, turning back to the old man, he gave him a purse filled with gold coins. "Here," Bearskin said. "Take this, and use it to provide for your daughters." The old man's eyes widened in disbelief. But why would you do this for me? A man such as yourself, feared and hated by all?" Bearskin only smiled, though it was a sad, knowing smile. "I have known poverty, and I know what it is to lose everything. Let me help you now, as I can. The old man, overwhelmed with gratitude, insisted on offering his youngest daughter in marriage to Bearskin as a token of thanks. But I cannot, Bearskin said, shaking his head. I am not fit for such a marriage. I am no longer the man I once was. But the old man insisted, it is the least I can do. She is beautiful and kind, and you have saved us both. You deserve her. And so, Bearskin reluctantly agreed to the arrangement. But when he saw the old man's daughters, he could see the fear and disgust in their eyes. The eldest daughter ran away screaming when she saw Bearskin, while the middle one recoiled in horror. Only the youngest daughter, gentle and kind, agreed to fulfill her father's promise. Bearskin handed her half of a ring and promised he would return in 3 years' time to marry her. The other sisters mocked her, calling her foolish for accepting such a dreadful fate. But the youngest daughter, undeterred by her sister's cruel words, kept the half-ring close to her heart. The years passed slowly, and Bearskin continued his journey, living in isolation, his appearance growing more monstrous with each passing day. He used his money to help those in need, but more and more people turned him away. He became a ghost, wandering the earth without a place to call home, his only companion the bearskin that clung to his body. But throughout it all, Bearskin remembered the promise he had made to the old man's daughter. He had given her half of a ring, and she had accepted it, despite the ridicule of her sisters. It was the only thing that kept him going, the only light in his otherwise dark and lonely existence. Finally, after 7 long years, Bearskin sought out the devil again. He found the creature in the same dark forest where they had first met. The devil, now more sinister than ever, smirked when he saw Bearskin approach. "So, you've made it this far, have you?" the devil said, his voice dripping with malice. Bearskin stood tall, despite his appearance, and demanded, "You made me a promise, devil. You said that if I survived these 7 years, I would be free. Now, fulfill your end of the bargain." The devil laughed darkly, but at last, he relented. With a snap of his fingers, he soaked Bearskin in water until it reached his knees, clipped his long claws, and brushed his hair until it was smooth and clean. The transformation was miraculous. Bearskin, who had been a terrifying, grotesque figure, was now restored to his former self. But Bearskin was not satisfied. "You will also repeat the Lord's Prayer," he demanded, "for you have tricked me before." The devil glared at him. "Do not test me, Bearskin. You have already won our bargain." With that, the devil vanished, leaving Bearskin standing alone in the forest, clean and well-dressed, ready to return to the world. Now restored, Bearskin traveled to the home of the old man, whose daughters he had promised to marry. When he arrived, the 2 older daughters were shocked to see him. The eldest, who had run away years ago, looked him up and down with wide eyes, but said nothing. The middle daughter, who had once mocked him, could only stare in disbelief. But the youngest daughter, the one who had kept the half-ring close to her heart, greeted him with a warm smile. She wore a simple black dress, and her eyes shone with kindness. Bearskin approached her, holding out the half-ring. "I have returned, as promised," he said. The 2 older sisters hurried to dress in their finest clothes, hoping to win Bearskin's favor. But Bearskin had made his choice. He dropped the half-ring into a wine cup and handed it to the youngest daughter. She drank from the cup, and the moment she did, she realized who he was. She gasped, her eyes filling with recognition. You are my husband," she said, her voice filled with wonder and joy. Bearskin smiled, his heart swelling with happiness. "Yes, and now we can begin our life together." The wedding was a simple but beautiful affair. The old man, grateful for all Bearskin had done, gave his blessing. The 2 older sisters, though they had once mocked the youngest, now saw the true worth of her decision. Bearskin was not only wealthy, but his heart was kind, and he had proven his worth through his actions. As for Bearskin and his bride, they were married in a quiet ceremony, surrounded by only their closest friends and family. The youngest daughter, who had never judged Bearskin by his appearance, knew that true love lies in the heart, not in the outside world. The couple lived happily together, raising a family and continuing to help those in need. And though Bearskin had once been feared and shunned by the world, he now had everything he had ever wanted: a loving wife, a family, and the peace that comes from knowing that true beauty lies within. Bearskin's story spread far and wide, becoming a legend that people told for generations. The moral of the tale was clear: beauty can be fleeting, and the true character lies within yourself. No matter how one may appear on the outside, it is what lies inside that truly matters. The patience and kindness that Bearskin showed, despite the hardships he faced, earned him the love of the one who mattered most, his bride, who saw beyond his appearance and into the heart of the man he truly was. And in the end, it was love, not wealth or looks, that brought them both happiness. And so, Bearskin and his bride lived happily ever after, a reminder that appearances are only skin deep, and that true beauty is found in the heart. If you like the story, then do subscribe, share and press the bell icon for more interesting stories.